Hi, Jim Schreiner here on my Jesus Christ Enough Already tour. You're following me in my RV traveling the country, talking about religion, faith, miracles, healing, health and wellness, science, medicine, all the things I hope will help make humanity a better place. You know, since I started this tour, I've been getting a lot of questions about healing and certain applications and that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I said early on in one of the segments is I jokingly said, you know, I'm 56 years old, and at nearly 60 years on this planet, I've learned that we don't know much of anything for sure. It seems like every time we turn around, we're changing our opinions on something. You know, and one of the perfect examples here lately is you're going to hear me talking a lot about stem cell research. Well, I was born into a family that had poor genetics. My father had heart problems at a very early age. At 43, had his first open heart surgery, had heart disease. He had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, just about every chronic disease you can imagine. And my mother was the same way. They both had just about every chronic disease, arthritis, blood pressure, cholesterol, you name it, diabetes. They were both insulin-dependent diabetics. So I was scared to death, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my brothers and sisters used to say that all the time. Oh my gosh, look what we have to look forward to. We've inherited these poor genetics from our parents, and I had a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that all of a sudden now I was labeled as having poor genes, and that I had no choice, but I was going to be a victim just like they were of their genetics. So I wasn't willing to accept that. So I started to do exactly what I'm telling you to do. Ask questions, seek answers, seek truth. So I spent the last 30 years of my life understanding exercise, nutrition, the power of the mind, healing, all the applications that I could to figure out if there were a way that I could change those genetics, change those genes, because I just was not willing to accept the fact that I was going to die prematurely as my parents did, and my brothers and sisters, of these chronic diseases. So I went back to college. I've studied sports medicine, exercise, nutrition, supplements, you name it. When it comes to health and wellness, I've studied it. And what's interesting now, throughout my life, I've proven theories by application, but I couldn't really, prove them on paper. Here's an example. Years ago, I had a personal training company called Bodyworks. When I first came out of college with my exercise and nutrition expertise, I developed a program for the Bally Corporation. We developed what's called a cardiopulmonary circuit. My idea was quite simple. I work out with dumbbells, and I worked out with these dumbbells, but I wanted to combine resistance training with cardiovascular training. So what I did is I went from an upper body movement, like let's say bicep curls with my dumbbells, to a lower body movement, squats. And what that did, it caused the blood and oxygen to go from the upper body to the lower body, and they call that peripheral heart action. So what was happening is I was getting resistance training through the dumbbells, but I was getting cardiovascular exercise because it elevated my heart rate. So I basically combined the two, anaerobic strength training with aerobic exercise, and lo and behold, it worked. Now, I didn't have any science to back it up. All I had was a theory. But we were seeing some amazing results with our clients, patients, clients. In a matter of months, I had literally hundreds of clients on my system, my cardiopulmonary system, getting amazing results. We got covered on, they did an article on me on Indianapolis Monthly Magazine. Well, the reason I bring this up is because certain times in my life, I felt like I was ahead of my time. You know, nobody wanted to believe that it was easy for a guy to work out for just 20, 30 minutes 3 times a week and be able to build this fantastic physique, because the current mentality at the time was that you had to be in the gym for hours at a time and all this. I said, no, you don't. It's about intensity and this circuit training. And I rebuilt my body, believe it or not, using this system. And I still use this system today. And I got up to like 228 pounds and became one of the American gladiators out in California by using this system. The point that I'm trying to make is now, recently, they've come out with high intensity interval training, HIIT. They call it peak fitness, where science has actually proven a theory that I believed 20 or 30 years ago, that you elevated the heart rate and you caused this roller coaster effect. I was doing that system 20, 30 years ago. I didn't have the science, but I had the results. My body got the results and my clients got the results. But now science proved that that theory worked. And the reason I tell you that is because when I went to college, I firmly believed that there was a way for me to avoid the genetic failures that my mother and father had given me. I mean, I had these poor genes. Chronic illness was all in my family, but I wasn't willing to accept that. So I changed my thoughts. It all starts right here, and that's what we're going to talk about. I convinced myself that I wasn't going to get sick. I convinced myself that I wasn't going to have that same genetic code that my parents did, that I wasn't going to suffer with the chronic diseases that they had. But I also changed my environment. So it started here. I changed my mind. I changed the air I breathed. I changed the food that came in my mouth. I changed my exercise routine. I changed the supplements that I took. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do, how to tap in to those healing progresses, those healing processes. And at 56 years old, not only do I not suffer from any chronic diseases like my parents did and all my siblings, I've never had the flu. I'm in the best shape of my life at 56. I could probably compete on American Ninja Warrior, which I may do. I could go back and be an American Gladiator right now. I'm in the best shape of my life, even though I had bad genetics, poor genetics. My genealogy, my genetics should have caused me to have every chronic disease, but I didn't, and I don't. Why? Because I changed my thoughts, I changed my perception of these illnesses, and I changed my environment. Well, watch this. I've done that over the last 40 years, but now science, through stem cell research, has proven my theory that you are not a victim of your hereditary. You're not a victim of your genes. That your genes can actually be manipulated and modified to follow your environment. Your thought environment, your surrounding environment, and the environment of what you put into the body. So my theory was correct 30 or 40 years ago. I didn't have the science, the numbers to back it up, but I had the body to back it up, and I had the clients and the patients to back it up. The people that followed my philosophy and my theory of changing their mind, changing their environment, got results. So that's what I've been teaching now for the last 30 or 40 years. I want you to think about this. It all starts right here. The first thing that you have got to do is clear your mind of all, I call it the religious dogma, because religion instilled into us that, oh my gosh, all healings come from God. And if your body's going to be healed, it has to come from God. And if you don't get healed, well, it must not have been God's plan. Well, you do not have to be a victim anymore. So get that garbage out of your mind, because there are no divine healings. Whoever created you, whoever designed you, whoever developed you, gave you the powers to change this. You've got to clear out the garbage, and you've got to start bringing in the right thoughts. How do I know this works? Science has proven it. Now, I want you to listen to this very carefully. We've all heard of the placebo effect. In science, when they want to prove a medicine, let's say you have diabetes or heart disease or cancer, you have any illness. In order for science to prove the effectiveness of a medicine, they have groups. They're supposed to be what they call double-blind placebo groups, but it doesn't matter. They're placebo groups. They'll take a group of, let's say, 50 people over here, and they'll put these people on the actual medicine for whatever illness that they have. Then they'll take these 50 people, and they'll put them on a placebo pill. Generally, that pill is a sugar pill. However, those people believe that they're taking the same medicine that this control group is taking. They believe that they're taking a medicine that's the best thing on the planet, the most state-of-the-art, cutting-edge medicine to cure them of their illness. Now listen to this carefully. Over 1/3 of the people taking that sugar pill got the benefit, the same benefit that the people taking the medicine took. Now you say, well, how in the world did the sugar pill didn't cure them? The sugar pill didn't take away their symptom. How did they get cured of their illness? Why? Because they believed that they were taking a medicine that was going to heal them. So it all starts right here. Your DNA, your genes can be manipulated by your environment, but that environment starts right here. You have got to believe that you're not going to get sick. You have got to believe that you do not have to be a victim of your surroundings or victim of your genes, of your parents, your grandparents. You are not a victim, because when you take control and you control this environment, you now become a champion and a warrior and in control of your future. You can control your genetic destiny. You are not a victim of your past. I'm living proof of that. Not only myself, but all of our patients. I can tell you, you control your future no matter what your genetics. It all starts right here. So clear out all the garbage, clear out all the bullshit that you've learned or heard, and start to bring in the right environment. Start to bring in the right thoughts, the right actions, the right information, which I'm going to try to help give you. Because when you can change this environment, you change the body. Your body, I say this all the time, I say, your body is like a horse on a trail. It's going to follow the lead of your brain. But if your brain takes a wrong turn, guess what? Your body's going to follow that horse. So we've got to get your brain to take the right turn. Get the garbage out, fill it full of healthy thoughts, healthy environment, and you can literally change the structure of the cells in your body. And that's what we're going to teach you. That's what I'm going to teach you here at the Jesus Christ Enough Already Tour. So I can't thank you enough for following my journey. You know, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Type in Jim Schreiner. Follow me wherever you can. Please tell your friends and family, if they truly desire to live a healthy life, a prosperous life, tune in. I'll give you my almost 60 years of experience on how I've done it. So continue to follow me on my journey. I'll see you on the road.